All right, I think we are on.
We are?
Okay, so we already got a slam in the background. Sorry, y'all. Okay, here we go. We made it. Okay, so we already got a slam in the background.
Okay.
All right. So, I hope everyone had a good Sabbath. We did.
We did.
I wonder why it's not showing up. So, sorry about that, guys. All right, so what verse did we go over last night?
Psalm.
We went over Psalm last night.
No, Matthew 5:11. No,
Other way around, 11:5. And what was Matthew 11:5 about?
The blind, the blind let them see. That and the death, and then let the lame walk. Or right, was it that? Let the lame walk and let the it was like the boils on their skin. The wash
the leprosy.
Leprosy. And leprosy. Was there one more? Yeah, one more.
So it was let the blind see, let the lame walk, let the lepers be cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead be raised, and the poor have the good news preached to them. So we talked about that in terms of spiritual. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. We had a meltdown that we had to tend to. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, first let me read the verse, and then I want y'all to talk about what it means in terms of spiritual ailment. So it says, Matthew 11:5, the blind received their sight, and the lame walk. Lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have good news preached to them. So, what is, in terms of spiritually, what is spiritual blindness?
We went over this last night. We can't spiritually see like if God's trying to show you something, you can't see it because
if you're spiritually blind. Yep. So some things, a good example of that going on right now is like medical technology. We take for granted that we assume that because someone got a heart transplant, it's because of, and it was a successful surgery, that it was because of medical technology. But at any moment during that entire process, if one little thing went wrong, that person wouldn't have lived. And so a lot of people don't see the fact that that you can do a heart transplant or heart surgery or any surgery really, how much of a miracle that is, because they're not able to see God's hand in that. Oh, we got some visitors. Hey. So, so Auntie said, "What's up, family?" And Alyssa said, "Hi." So spiritual blindness is not being able, like you said, not being able to see miracles or things that God's doing. You just take it for granted as that being nature, or you don't understand. You're not able to understand God's hand in it. Okay, so what about the lame walking? This was a good one. How's that spiritual?
You spiritually can't walk forward, like your wounds.
Well, how as a believer, how do you walk by?
Your faith.
By faith, right?
Mm.
So if you're lame spiritually, means you're not able to walk by faith, right?
Broke spiritually.
Yep.
That means.
What about lepers are cleansed? Do y'all remember what a leper was?
Sin. It's,
Well, what's a leper first?
like burning your skin. It's like burning
Well,
your skin.
it's a disease. It's an illness, and it produces like
Boils.
really bad skin inflammation, like a boil or like almost could look like burns.
Yeah.
And it's painful and it's highly, highly contagious. And so a lot of people would just put the lepers outside the gates of the city and just kind of leave them there. And they'll throw food and stuff to them or whatever, but they wouldn't
go out.
really want to touch them. But it says here the lepers, are cleansed. So what were you saying spiritually?
That it's basically sin.
Mm-hmm.
That when God touches you, then you're forgiven or something like that.
It's a way to cleanse your sin, right? What about the dead are raised up? How's that spiritual?
Your soul, your spiritual faith.
You're dead, yeah. So you might. What was the term we said?
You're like a zombie.
A zombie, like a dead man walking,
Yeah.
right? Because your body is alive, but inside there's nothing.
Like the thing says, there's the lights on, but nobody's home.
Mm-hmm. So when he raises the dead, he's meaning spiritually. You're able to have your life. All right, and then the poor have good news. Preach them. Does that mean that they don't have a lot of money?
No.
I mean, potentially they don't have any money, but it's not meaning poor, like financially. What's it meaning?
It's meaning poor in faith.
Poor in spirit, yeah. And so it was weird because I did a confirmation on the words, the actual studies of the words. I don't know if I put it in here. No, I don't think I put it in here, but when I go back and look at the Greek translations of the words, a lot of them are like blind, mentally or mentally or physically. Well, mental blindness could be what we were talking about. So, okay, so we have a question from Alyssa. She wants to know why God is a jealous God.
Jealous?
He's not jealous. He's not a jealous God.
Well, it does say that. It does say God's a jealous God. I mean, okay, so go back to the commandments. What's the first one?
And don't have no other gods except me.
All right, so if you had other gods besides him, what would he be?
Jealous.
He'd be jealous, right? So why is he jealous based on the first commandment?
Because you're not obeying the things that he's been put forth toward you. It's like he's giving you something and you're taking it for something else, and it's like you have a good gift to give to somebody and they don't take it, so
So it's like I'm giving you the entire world and you would rather have something that was created by some man,
yourself or somebody else.
And so because would that not make you jealous and it's not like the same way that we think of jealousy. It's basically you can't serve more than one God. Yeah. You're either serving him or you're serving something else. There's a verse in Revelations. It talks about that you can't be lukewarm. Like you either are hot or you're cold. If you're lukewarm, I'll spew you out. What does spew you out mean?
Like
it's more than just spit.
Throw up.
Yeah. It's literally like vomiting you out. Right? That's how disgusting that is to him. He doesn't want you to be Because here's the thing, think of it. If you say that you have, as the Bible verse says, tasted and seen that God is good, and then, but you still want to dabble in your little sin that you are attached to, it's like you already know what God has to offer, but then you want to go back and forth. And that's disgusting. Because think of it like in our friendship lives. Like, if you had a friend who says they come to you all the time and they tell you how terrible one of their friends are, and you're like, please just stop going over there. You know, stop putting yourself in that position. You know, you're a good person. Don't go through that. And then you the friend continues to go. At some point, you'll be like, okay, now,
Come on.
I've already shown you what's good.
They're just ignoring it.
So, okay, hold on. What's the question, Alyssa? We got some
More
question marks going up. We'll see. Let's see what she responds about. Was that a good answer, or you have some more questions with that? Let's see. All right. Well, we'll move on, and then if I see her ask something, we'll continue. Okay. So that was the Bible study last night. That was pretty good.
Oh, and you're talking about for your pumpkin seed. You God gives us, as you said, a little sprinkle or a dab of faith in you, and it's up to you to either, or you can think of it as a pumpkin seed, like you told us. You can either eat the pumpkin seed, store it for later, or grow it and have more pumpkins.
And someone comes out their house and says, "See, guys, look what I made."
Look at all the pumpkins.
So that's what we were talking about when we were talking about the lame are able to walk. Because spiritually, if you're lame spiritually or you can't walk by faith, we were talking about what walking by faith means. And that I was explaining to you that God has given each of us a measure of faith. It doesn't say specifically what that means, but it's indicative that it's all the same. Like we've all been given the same amount of faith. And then it's what we do with it. So we equated the measure of faith to be a pumpkin seed. And so you can take your pumpkin seed. So everybody has one. And then so you could take your pumpkin seed, like you said, you could store it for later. You could eat it because you can eat pumpkin seeds, but it'll only give you a moment. Right. You could just throw it to the ground. Say, what is this? Like a penny? Like, I don't need that. And toss it. You know, but that doesn't mean anything. Or you could plant it. And that's kind of what we do with our measure of faith. We've all been given the same amount. And then the one who plants it is the one who's walking by faith. Even I would argue the one who puts it aside for later use is also to some degree walking by faith, but they're hindered because they're storing it up for later instead of using it now. You can use it now and have more pumpkins now. Like you can grow your faith now and have, a greater, as the Bible says, harvest now. Why wait?
Right,
Isn't now a good enough time? So you have that, and then the person who just throws it to the side is someone who's like on crutches. Maybe worse, in a wheelchair. They ain't walking. They're not walking by faith at all. They just throw it to the side. Doesn't mean anything. And then the one who is walking by, not really walking by faith. I mean, a little bit. They have a tiny bit that they're walking by because they ate it. They knew it was going to give them some nourishment, but it was just for that moment. It was like, oh, I need God for this minute, and then it's gone. So yeah, that was a good way to explain that verse. Because on the face value, that verse is, you're like, what? What's before it? What's after it? But when you look at it from a spiritual eye, you can find out a bunch. Exactly. So let me look. Get this picture.
Yes. The diagram.
So we had talked about this the other day. Let me see if I have it up still.
It's about the coin. The other side of the coin.
It is, but I thought I had it up.
No.
Oh, I remembered why I looked at Walt Disney yesterday too. Because someone in a different live had put in the chat that Alyssa said that's sad. I think she's talking about the person who just doesn't walk by their faith. Okay, where did that picture go?
Wait, did they just take it off your pictures list?
It's gone again. Okay, well, that's not what we're supposed to talk about.
Do you have it in your album? Album? Like all the pictures that you saved? How do you put it in that?
I don't know. But I looked up, I had said somebody in the other chat had said that Walt Disney was dishonorably discharged from the military. And I was like, what? Yeah, I didn't even think he was in the military. So that's why I was even looking him up. And then when I was looking that up, which from what I understand, I don't think there was something that happened, but obviously how can you be dishonorably discharged from the military that you were never
part of
in? But I didn't read enough to figure out what exactly was going on with that. But so anyway, that's why I even was beginning to look at Walt Disney, because I couldn't remember yesterday why I even had started looking at him. Okay, so which again led us down the Gnosticism. So I think we said yesterday too that we were going to talk a little bit more about soy.
Yes.
Okay.
In products. So there's a couple of different articles. Now, of course, whenever there's like a message from what we say MSM, mainstream media, whenever there's a message from, and those are like your big news networks, your CNNs, your Foxes, your ABCs, NBCs, whatever, all the big ones, even the big newspapers. You can't take what they're saying as 100% truth. There's always some deception in it. But, so of course the first things you read are going to say, of course there's nothing wrong with soy. It's not going to do anything to you. So like for this one, now you have to watch where it's coming from too, and we'll explain that in a minute. It says, does eating soy increase estrogen production? Soybeans are a complete protein source and a dietary staple in many cultures. Soy contains phytoestrogens called isoflavones that may mimic the activity of the hormone estrogen in your body. The effect of soy isoflavones on human estrogen levels are complex. Soy is safe for everyone to consume in moderation and can have a modest effect on estrogen levels. So do y'all know what estrogen is, first off?
I know what it is. Can't speak it out.
So it's a hormone.
Yes. Okay. Oh my god.
So of the two biological sexes that we know of, now that's going to get us canceled right there. But we're just going to go there. Of the two biological sexes that we know of, what does estrogen belong to? Who does estrogen belong to? Female. And then, so the male is testosterone. Okay. So it says, does soy increase estrogen production? Would it be a bad thing for young boys to eat a lot of estrogen?
I would say no.
Really?
Not a whole bunch. I mean, you can eat it, but not a lot of it.
So a young boy consuming a lot of the female hormone. Do you see any problem with that?
Yeah. Oh, you say yeah.
So a young male consuming a lot of estrogen, and it's not just in soy. There's other things. So we're not just going to condemn soy here, but So I would think there's probably an issue
Yeah.
with young boys consuming a lot of estrogen, just as much as I would feel like there'd be a problem with young girls consuming a lot of testosterone.
Oh,
Okay.
I use that.
What? Okay. So for girls, all right. So your testosterone and estrogen, testosterone, what does that we can say on YouTube? What does testosterone do to a boy? Do you know?
Muscles.
Muscles, bigger muscles.
The gains, the beards.
Yeah, facial hair, right?
Uh-huh.
Makes you hairy.
Mhm.
So women who consume a lot of testosterone, what do you think's gonna happen to them?
Hairy and weight and muscles.
So they'll start looking like like men, hairy faces, and right.
Mhm.
And then what's gonna happen to what's gonna happen to a boy who consumes a lot of estrogen?
The opposite effect.
So they'll start getting soft, like their muscles will be softy.
Mhm.
They might start
Acting like
growing a chest that they don't want, right? So there could be issues with that. So guess where this I think Alyssa said demonetized. So this article, guess where it came out of? Does eating soy increase estrogen production? Do you know of a place in this country? Maybe y'all don't. That's all. Do y'all know of a place? My mom's been there a couple times.
Oh, okay.
A place in this country where there's a lot of people who so Gel RBO13 would like you to shout out Nick Gurr.
Nicker.
That was funny.
Oh, who said that? Huh?
They got us good.
They got.
oh, bro.
Hey, don't say it too fast.
Yeah, don't say it too fast.
So where would this be?
San Francisco. Because you've been there a lot. San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yes.
So it's from the San Francisco gate. All right. So, of course, they're going to say, "Oh, yeah, there's some, but not too much." Alyssa said, "No." It's okay. I pronounced it very
slowly.
Specifically. She said, "Why?" Yeah, I don't know who they are. So we're not gonna fall for that stuff. Right now. No more shout outs.
No more shout outs.
Unless we could comprehend it better.
So they're saying that some of the like soy sauces and stuff like that, because it's a fermented soy, it doesn't have as bad of an effect on estrogen levels as some of the raw forms of soy. But soy is in so many things.
If you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't think of it, but it really is.
Hold on one second. She said that is bad. Alyssa said that is bad. It is bad, Alyssa. We just got trolled.
Yeah.
It's all right. See, a guide to food rich in soy. So you have a lot of tofu, soy meat alternatives, soy sauces, soy flour, and soybean oil. And these are in a bunch of products. Products that you don't even think of because of this. There are many types of food alternatives made with soy, such as soy bacon, cheese, chicken list nuggets, corn dogs, hamburgers, hot dogs, and ice cream. So we talked about that the other day. So one thing, remember what we found out is soy?
It's like a main source is edamame.
Yeah.
Edamame. Yep.
I don't even know.
No. Oh, that is a soybean.
That's one of my favorite foods.
So you have meat alternatives. You have miso, like miso soups and stuff. Of course, there's a bunch of soy milks. But if it's in all parts of your diet and you don't realize you're eating as much, you might consume a whole lot more than you even think of. So, so we have 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
We have Alyssa said, "So how was your day, Smalls?"
Great.
Very good.
We had a good Sabbath and
We fasted.
Yeah.
Whether you meant to or not.
Yeah.
And then Allison wants to know, how do you make a YouTube channel?
What?
Well, first, you just go to the YouTube account.
The sign-in thing.
Yeah, and then you make up your channel and profile, and
Bada bing, bada boom. We got
more personal information. I guess. Do you have personal?
Well, you can attach so if you have a Gmail account or something like that, your Google account, you can attach it to the
website,
to your YouTube. Basically, Google runs YouTube, so you can attach your Google account to YouTube, and then as you go into your channel, you can make videos, or you can just go around looking at other people's videos.
Or make lives, I guess.
So hopefully that answers your question, Allison. Let's see. So we talked about, like 2 or 3 times ago, we talked about somebody doing synthetic meats.
Oh.
Right? So what do you think these plant-based meats are going to be made with?
Soy.
Soy, probably.
Right?
Especially for men, 'cause they eat the most meat.
So one of the biggest things that Satan wants is for you not to know who you are, not to know your identity in Christ, right? So if you are a young male and you walk around feeling like a female, and some of it could be because of the products you eat. So let's think about this. Little tiny babies, when they're on formula, some babies can't take the formula. That's good, and they end up getting soy milk. It's like a soy formula.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're taking little babies and you're pumping them full of soy. So then, of course, when they get 2 and 3 and 4 years old, and all their food has had something form of soy, they may question who they are, because if you are getting more female hormones than you're supposed to be getting, in essence, what it's doing is emasculating you, right? And then it becomes problematic later on, right? Let's see. Alyssa said plans or plants. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what she's asking about it.
About Imani?
I don't know. It just says plans, and then there was a second one, question marks. So maybe she'll clarify for us.
Okay.
But yes, like the plant burgers and stuff like that would be with the soy, and they're telling us that you can't eat meat.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop processing it. It's bad for the environment. So what do you think? People are going to be eating a whole lot more soy, right?
Especially with these plant patties and things that they're coming out with.
A veggie burger.
Yeah. It says meat alternatives contain soy protein or tofu. They are used to imitate meat, such as burgers, sausages, bacon, and hot dogs. Generally, they are cholesterol-free and lower in fat than meat. What else? Plains. Oh, the planes.
Planes?
So, Alyssa, are you asking about planes? Or are you saying like planes have something to do with like soy?
Or she's talking about the CM trails.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There could be something in the exhaust of the planes that are putting on our plants. So she's saying the planes. Sorry. Was that what you were asking about, Alyssa? Was it about the planes? Like, they're the chemical trails that they leave?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See him every day.
Mm-hmm.
She said she mistyped. No, that's okay. We're just trying to figure out what you're asking. It's no problem.
Yeah.
I need to go up here and get rid of this comment.
Yes, please.
Because that needs to not be on our...
Dang.
Ban.
We blocked them. Because no. That is unacceptable. It's my fault. I fell for it. I have to read and process before I speak.
Yeah.
All right. So I just thought that was interesting because that's been the big thing that's going on in current events. They are normalizing transgender expression, and we don't want anything bad to happen to anyone who is feeling that way. We have a biblical perspective about those things, but we don't want anything bad. We just, because of our biblical perspective, we can't say that that's okay. I know it was awful. Well, we blocked them, so Christina said that was awful. I know, but I think I pronounced it well enough that hopefully the algorithm won't pick it up. But if so, we'll just be
more cautious.
We'll just be more cautious.
Filter.
We usually don't have a lot of people watching us live, so we don't have a bunch to correct because we're talking to ourselves. So you live and learn. So anyway, there's a bunch of stuff that we can go into more later about what soy does. And soy is not the only one that increases estrogen. It's just one. But they seem to be putting in a lot more foods. There was a big, for milk alternative for a long time, the silk milk was soy milk. They've moved into almond milk. And now almond milk or nut milks seem to be really popular. And so that's okay, but you still have to be aware of what's in them. Because do y'all remember what was in almond milk that you have to watch out for?
Oh, yeah, carrageenan.
Carrageenan, yep. If you have too much of that, it can be what they call carcinogenic, which is like it can cause cancer.
No. You don't want that.
Right. So you just have, it's not that because you drink almond milk you're going to get cancer. It's just if you change all of your milk source to that, you drink it a whole lot, and you're drinking specifically the milks with that in it. It can be a problem.
You just check on the carton.
And just same thing with soy. Soy's not in and of itself a bad thing. It's just you got to watch
where it is put in,
how much you're consuming of it, and if you don't even know what it's in,
how you doing it?
How do you know? They put soybean oil in so much stuff. You'll be surprised. Like I started looking at labels of things, and I'm like, really? All right, so
we got that subject.
That was our topic of soy. I think there was. So if y'all have any questions or anything that's on your mind that you want us to talk about, we can. So there's a bunch of interesting stuff. apparently there's been a bunch of guards
Mm-hmm.
from the national
Areas.
national
Lights. National lights.
well, I don't want to just say that. We'll just say NGs.
Mm-hmm.
That's been deployed to different areas. And supposedly, let me see if we have any updates. So we have Wyoming governor has quietly mobilized guards to their state capital. Important military movement. Departure of U.S. troops for Florida. Oh no, FOF Florida. I don't know what that means. But that was from the New York Times. Troops will be given vaccine jabs in Florida, in Philadelphia, in the coming weeks. Pentagon to deploy troops for jabs effort as fans defy warnings. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was for the Super Bowl. So basically, my point of bringing that up is that they're what they call immobilizing NG troops to different areas around the country to administer the jab. How does that make y'all feel?
Yeah, I want to get the attack in boxing, jabbing.
Mm-hmm. Or an inoculation in British terms, a jab.
Oh.
So they're getting the troops to come out and administer them. Means to give them out. What would you need troops to do that for? How does that make y'all feel?
To force you to do it? Or if you don't, then you get beat by a stick.
I hope not.
Accept it.
Yeah, but it's maybe like what's the word? Intimidation, but not necessarily like, not that they're going to come and do anything to you, but just the fact that you see them makes you feel like you might have to go do that. If you don't know what you're
doing,
if you don't know why you're not going to take it, or you haven't taken it yet, you may be like, oh, well, I guess I have to.
the military
Makes me feel like I have to go do that.
It's safer for them, right?
And then, of course, there's a bunch staying in the capital of our United States. So that's an interesting development we'll have to keep our eye on. I still don't know why. Oh, maybe this is it.
What, the coin?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, here it is.
Yay!
But I don't know if they have the backup of it.
They need to see that.
Yeah, that coin's creepy, the back of it.
Right, hold on. Let me go to my email and see if it comes back up. Because it came back up afterwards, didn't it?
Yeah.
You need to see what this thing looks like.
Everybody who's watching. It's been a long time coming. Like a couple episodes.
Here it is.
Yes.
All right, let's see if it'll load.
Low.
There we go.
Low. Yes.
Let me see if it. Yes. Okay, look at this creepy eyeball. Okay, wait.
I'm gonna see.
That's one side of it.
Now you can see what we're talking about. That thing.
I don't know
It's
if you can
creepy.
see that weird look.
Where, baby?
Do. See that weird eyeball?
Some creepy mojo going over right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it says the awakening. Sorry of my shaking hand. It says the awakening, and then it says you can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. And then this is what the other side says. So it's infinity, and then it has that QE. That QE stands for quantitative easing. Sorry. Sorry about my hand. And there's a snake eating its own tail. That's called the Ouroboros.
What we've been talking about.
Yeah, if you don't know what that is.
Go check the last episode.
So, we read the first part the other day of this. Let me read a little bit more. It says the obverse design is where the name of the round infinite. So it's calling it an obverse, but it's not. That's an Ouroboros.
Like the,
It says in the center of a large, incredible infinity symbol displayed in the form of a snake eating its own tail. Beneath the infinity symbol is the text QE, short for quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is a traditionally unconventional monetary policy where central banks print more money to say hi. To stimulate the economy. Quantitative easing has evolved from a seldom used policy to what it is today and political mechanism deployed by addicted policymakers to sweep real problems under the nearest rug.
nearest rug?
Mm-hmm.
Shrug.
Then it says on the reverse is a striking design that depicts an eye opening representing the collective public awakening. No, that's not what it represents, but they can lie to those who don't know. To the ongoing corruption. The text MDCCLXXVI is beneath the eye and is Latin for the date of 1776. In front of the stone of the pyramid reads Annuit Copitus. These elements are all inspired by the original U.S. seal in 1776. Seen in the stones of the pyramid are the date 2021 and the weight and purity of the silver round. The reverse is capped off with the enlightening quote of, "You can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep," which ties in the overall concept of the series.
Enlightening. How is that enlightening?
I don't know. It's just like they're using terms, and if people think that they're awake, but they're really not. Sorry for the
Baby.
little lady.
And like you're
Hold
providing.
on, let me tell him that she can come up here. Hold on, y'all. Alyssa, I just saw your text. You're right. That's what I think. I love your spelling of that because that's phenomenal. That's a great way to spell it from now on. That way, nobody would ever know what you're talking about. It is confirmed. Here, sister, with that.
Here, sister.
So yeah, that was so I don't know why we couldn't see it the other day. That's the same exact email that I had pulled up the other day, but the pictures were gone. So we got that taken care of. All right, what else y'all got?
Any more? Do we have any more movies that we can talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all said something the other day. What was the one y'all brought up?
We already talked about Tangled, Monsters Inc.
Tron.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Transformers or
No.
just?
We just said Tron.
We just said Transformers.
Yeah, there's a lot in Transformers. We're gonna have to actually watch those and then make notes
Okay.
and do a whole little, maybe a couple of them because there's a lot.
Well, there's one that we haven't
To
watched.
unpack.
I haven't watched personally, but yeah,
Which one?
it's like I forgot the name, but it has when Megatron died, And it,
Alyssa said, "Hi, sisters."
I'm locking it.
Which one haven't we watched that you said you want to talk about?
which one? The Transformers one that we've watched before?
No, you were saying like there was a movie that we were going to
Yeah.
talk about that we haven't watched.
That you haven't watched. We watched it. Yes.
Oh, y'all said something about WandaVision.
Yes, that.
I don't know. We'll have to.
Alyssa, do you know what a WandaVision is? It's on
Alyssa, have
Disney
you heard of
Plus.
WandaVision?
It's on Disney Plus.
Let's see what she answered.
We just finished it. We watched all
9.
all 9, all yesterday. No, yeah, yesterday.
So what in that? Because I haven't watched it, but what in that? So I can't confirm or deny what you're saying.
Mhm.
But what in that
We'll watch with you at the new house.
has given y'all some red flags? She said no, she hasn't seen it.
Well, watch a couple episodes and then you'll
Yeah.
see because it's pretty blank in the first beginning. But anyway, so they send well if you so in the beginning it looks fine
Mhm.
and then it's like a Harry Potter type of thing where it looks fine in the beginning and you go in and you just get crazy stuff.
But basically, she formed this. It's like a different world. She formed a different world.
In the same world.
Yeah, but just created her own. And since she likes sitcoms, she made her own like little thing about that because she brought back Vision, but that's just like her
Puppet.
Yeah, it's like a puppet. And there's
Well, how that ties in biblically, there's a lot of verses that say, like, my people perish for their lack of knowledge.
Mm.
But in some translations, it'll say, like, my people perish for their lack of vision. Right?
Mm.
So, vision. We could do a whole topic on vision and what God's vision entails versus how the world wants you to see.
Yeah.
Right? Because Satan would rather you be distracted and look over here. Like I was distracted and I looked and I just read the comment instead of processing it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You live and learn.
and if you watch, I think it's like the ninth. I think it's the ninth one or the 8th one. In the background, she goes under in a basement. There's a witch. I forgot her name. It's like
something. She's the villain.
Yeah,
But you never know it because she's
the nosy neighbor, as you could.
That's a neighbor.
That's what she calls it.
Yeah, and
Well, I mean, that tells you just about all you need to know.
and you can see in the background there's a goat head
Where's her shirt?
and the back
And ruins.
and ruins too.
And she's the witch?
Uh-huh.
One is the superhero of the movie.
That sounded
But it's a witch herself.
too much.
Yeah.
So do y'all, okay, I got a good question.
Okay.
Do y'all believe that like let's say giants and like some of the, so I'm not saying giants are mythical, but like some of the mythical creatures existed?
Like centaurs,
Like centaurs, like fairies, like dragons, like mermaids.
That can be a whole other segment.
Mm.
But anyway, me and Mom.
I explain yes or no and then why.
Yes.
Yes.
This is disclaimer. Yes.
Yes, but.
Yeah. Because in the Bible, God talks about him locking up the beasts in a dungeon type of area
where they can never come out
until he unleashes them.
Right.
And so you could connect it. If you connect the dots, you can say that these creatures had to come from somewhere, and these creatures, because you don't see them anymore, and you don't find their bones there. You don't find. So how can you just come up with this whole array of animals and creatures and
Mm-hmm.
mix mash stuff
Mhm.
and not have you haven't
Some
seen it.
truth to it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so somebody must have had seen something way back, like where Noah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah, and because the guy didn't allow them to come on the ark.
Well, there had to have been something more than just our disgusting nature
Yeah.
that God wanted to get rid of when He destroyed the earth
Mhm.
during Noah.
Yeah.
And there is some alluding to that when the Bible talks about the Nephilim,
Mhm.
and it says that the sons of men, basically got entangled with the sons of God, got involved with the daughters of men. And so who knows what kind of things were about during that time. But there's a lot of Alyssa's making a face. What's that face for, Alyssa? She's like a shock face. So who knows what that is, but those were the ones that needed to be destroyed off the earth. They had to be taken care of. In other words, basically fallen angels,
I was just thinking about it.
created beings with humans.
Yeah.
And the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go with all kinds of the weird things that they showed.
In games, most likely, in movies all the time.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know that they necessarily exist right now.
Yeah.
I don't know my thoughts on that.
If you go in the back,
But it does say when you go into the Gospels, Jesus says, "So as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be for the second coming of man."
Yeah.
Meaning Jesus' second coming. So at some point, that's going to be able to. They get unleashed. They
break that chain, man.
They break. They break out of the dungeon, which gives a whole new concept to the idea of an underworld.
Yeah.
Right. It gives you a whole new what? Maybe there is a whole world of creatures.
Yeah.
That you probably not want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alyssa says an angel. Are you agreeing with us, Alyssa, or are you asking a question about an angel, or was it angels? Were you saying like the Nephilim were angels? Let's see. So yeah, we'll go into a whole thing of that because a lot of times people overlook. They just hear the story of Noah and they don't. What happened in there?
Who knows?
Drama in the small house. There's a whole concept of what went on during the days of Noah that most people don't go into. Where do we get to learn a lot about Noah that we'll be getting to do soon?
Creation Museum.
Creation Museum.
Yeah,
What's at the? Well, it's not at the Creation Museum, but it's near it.
Yeah.
What's there?
The ark.
Yeah, the big
The
boat.
Ark encounter.
We've been there one time, but we're going back.
So we're gonna go back.
That place is dope.
It's really cool because it brings to life like how it could have been how it could have happened. Where it makes it it's an angel emoji, is what she's saying. Oh, I got it. Okay, I thought it was like a shock face. It's so small on my screen I can't see it very big, so I thought it was like a shock face. Like, what are they talking about? Got it. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to do a whole segment on that.
Oh, but pyramids
Mm-hmm.
back then when the hieroglyphics and things. Me and Mom were talking one day about if you because they say that they worship these gods, but they look like giants if you look at them just wearing helmets or masks.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's another thing that you could clarify. If they were, how could they lift those big stones? I mean, yes, you got people that can do it, but really, you need like a whole lot of people.
Well, it's not that people couldn't get together in a group and get a few of them stones up.
Like in,
But I don't see how they could do all of those all the way up to the top with the technology that they had back then. So, I don't know. It begs the question how those stones get lifted.
And
maybe we'll write a book, Who Lifted the Stones?
and they can conduct electricity.
Mm-hmm. So they are, and they found them under the water. They found them, so like even like the ruins in South America have a bunch of pyramid shapes. Yeah.
Like
all over. I think there's even some in like, I want to say Antarctica, and they even suspect that there's some on the moon. In some of the pictures. So,
I think there in Transformers there is Transformers the Last Night. There's a scene in the movie. Well, it's like almost. It's in the middle of the movie, and to the end, and they have like these. There's this big gigantic robot from destroying the Earth, and he has like they're not pyramids, but they're like horns, basically, and they can conduct electricity and bring Cybertron to there and form.
So we'll just mention this because I think we could do one. Maybe when we do the topic of mythical creatures, we'll bring this in there too. That'll be the segment for that one, because they are saying. So I'll give you an example. One issue that mortal man has is they want to live forever. They don't want to die, because then if you don't die, then you don't have to face God.
Yeah.
Most people won't say that. They won't say it that way. They just say they just don't want to die, right? They want to live forever. So there's been people who have done cryogenics, which is like freezing different parts of their body. Some people have frozen their heads. Sorry, guys. And Alyssa said 54 minutes in, and she loves Teen Talk. Well, thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you.
And she subbed. So the idea, and it makes sense with the pyramids, because the pyramids were what are they telling us they are? Do you know?
Like Frankenstein.
A tomb.
Yeah. They're
telling us it's a tomb. That's where the pharaohs are. Well, who out of all the world would want to not die? The leaders of the world.
Yeah.
So if they thought, like a Frankenstein type situation, that these tombs that they were put in could somehow be electrified and shock them back to life, wouldn't they be like, yeah, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Let me get on that. Let me get on that train.
And taking out parts of their head by, not their head, but like sucking their brain out through their nose or something.
Yeah,
weird.
How do you suck your brain out of your nose?
I don't know. We'll have to look into that. That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother. We have to wrap this one up here in just a minute. I'm trying not to go too much more than an hour. So, yeah, that's crazy. So we'll talk about. So that's what we'll do. We'll have a segment. I'm gonna write it down real quick. Because I know we're going to have to do... So that's... Give the praise report about what's going on. What's going on that might hinder our lives for a couple days.
Moving. Yes, moving.
Okay, so as we close out...
Good news.
What? Okay, so we're going to be moving. without being completely specific, what are some things that you can prep?
Since we're going to be working on that when we get there, my beehives, speaking of prepping honey and the comb and the wax and beeswax.
Beeswax, that's a good thing.
And getting eggs, like having a chicken.
You mean egg powder? What was it? Egg powder?
I think it is.
So that's like freeze dried. So some people buy food that is basically freeze dried. Most of it's freeze dried, and it can last up to like 30 years in the containers. And so some people stockpile that. They're like, okay, well, if something happens, they call it an SHTF situation. We don't need to say what that means. If that situation happens, I'll be okay because this will last for 30 years, 25 years, something like that. So this is my personal thought of it, and you guys can elaborate if you want. My personal thought is, okay, have a couple of those, because you never know if your chickens aren't laying eggs or if something happens, and so have something for backup that'll last a long time. But I think the best approach, like to food and stuff, is to have what's called a working pantry and then a storage pantry. And then the storage pantry is what you shop from. So basically what that means is in your working pantry, these are the things you're using on a daily basis, what most people have right now. And that's how, they operate their groceries off of their working pantry. I'm saying operate your groceries off of your storage pantry. Basically what you do is you go to your storage pantry and get your groceries for the month. And then whatever you pulled, that means you need to get more of for your storage pantry. That way you have a good rotation. So with the freeze dried eggs and stuff, it's powdered eggs. They'll come in handy in a pinch. But there's pros and cons to that. Okay, Alyssa said starting a farm. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
we already got to that.
Sheep.
Yeah.
When we work up, so it's gonna be chickens, bunnies, then
ferrets.
Hopefully, that's something we really want.
Yeah.
Sheep, chickens,
horses.
But this is when we get pro farming.
When we're done taking, like when we learn how to take care of the chickens.
And stuff. And bees. What else? There's something else. Bees. Oh, dogs. That's another one. Those are like the animals that we're gonna be having around a lot. And we're gonna have a lot of we have a big farm area. So
Alyssa said starting a farm. What are some essential things that you need to have to start a farm?
Plants.
Okay, seeds. So seeds that you can do seedlings from, or you can buy some plants that's already been started. But what else?
A shed.
Do you need a place to put the plants?
Greenhouse.
Well, so you can have a greenhouse, but what else? I mean, after the greenhouse, you need a garden area. That requires.
I forgot that.
That requires tilling. Alyssa said, "Let me come with you."
You can.
There's plenty of room. So you need a garden area. What will help your plants grow? Fertilizer. Can you make your own fertilizer?
Yes, by using composting.
Doing a composting. So that's another project that you have to get. You gotta get started.
Can you use like banana peels?
Yeah, that's part of the anything biodegradable. It'll also give us a new concept of trash because anything that could be like newspaper type stuff can go.
Burn.
No, well, newspaper also can be used in your compost.
Oh, okay.
Shreds of it. It's good to aerate it. You can also buy a bunch of worms to get a good
eating out of it.
Your working
good
buddies.
compost going. So
And we can, and that just cuts out a lot of work time for if we want to go fishing. We just go over to the compost and grab a couple big worms, and you know.
So there's I've heard some people that might be something you want to look into, since he's going to be doing bees. I've heard a lot of people, not a lot, but a good handful of people have worm farms, and they make their money by selling bait to the local stores.
I kind of like that idea.
So you just bring them, and you have different boxes, and really it's nothing to it. I shouldn't say nothing to it. That's an understatement. There is something to it, but I mean the fact that if you put the right ingredients together, there's not a lot of work that goes into it. You still have to check them and all that stuff. But basically, you put them in a tote.
Oh yeah.
And you put some dark soil in and a couple other things. I think there's going to be some newspaper stuff in it too. But and then I don't know. We have to look into it some more. But that might be a good idea for something you to think about.
Because I like.
I did see something about worms. I remember watching a video. You have a bucket. You have to take 2 buckets. So one's for the baby worms, and then one's for the worms that are for the summer. So the guy takes the worms that are big from like the last year and from after winter, and take them out and then put them. I think he either sells them or uses them. Yeah, for whenever he needs them. And then the ones that are burrowing and making another whole nest.
Well, so the one, I think the same guy you're talking about, his reasoning for that was when he was little, he used to go fishing every day. And he got tired of spending all of his money on bait. And he's like, well, forget this, because I can see in my yard, I dig out worms all the time. So then what he was doing for a long time was each night he would go out and dig up worms for the next day for his fishing trip. And then so eventually he got more worms than he could use. And then he was like, oh, well, let me figure out how to just let me be the one to sell the bait to the people. So it's a cool little
concept,
money idea.
I remember that video.
All right, so real quick before we get off, we're going to do one on pyramids, mythical creatures. So that'll be one whole segment. What was the other one that I said we were talking about?
Those gates.
Oh. They're like arches.
Yeah.
Arches, and we'll do the pictures of those plants. The
those big cactus.
And then I'll see if I can find any research on if anybody else had seen a green light around that same time. Okay. And then any other one?
We could do something about more farming stuff since we're getting more like.
So we can do like instructional type ones. Those don't necessarily be lives. I mean, I guess some of them could be.
I mean, like once we get like a lot of stuff set up, we can like show them the animals and stuff. In some lives or in some all videos on the main channel.
Yeah. All right, so we'll say maybe instructional. And then maybe we'll just put out a few videos next week of like moving and getting stuff set up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll be able to go live next week yet or not until we until we get some stuff set up. So that's what we'll be working on between now and then. Oh, Alyssa said UFO.
UFO.
So you want them to talk about a UFO? Let's see what she says.
Well, while she typing in, can you or is fish good to like if you got like crabs or something?
Oh, that
like if you were going to like just to either sell or have like, can you have like a fish or a crab like area,
Mhm.
you know, like a pond or something like that. Like,
Are we gonna put a pond there? Or like not a big pond, but like
From what I know, like I'm not saying all crabs are this. I'm just thinking about like when I've been to the beach and stuff.
Mhm.
It's normally saltwater.
Mhm.
So I mean, the pond would have to be some type of saltwater. Now that's not 100% because I've seen crabs like near the beach in the bottom of a pool. So I'm not saying they have to have. All right. So she said, "What do you think about UFOs?
I mean, you could say that.
Do you think there are? First off, what is a UFO?
Oh my gosh.
I can't say
Unidentifiable flying object, right? Or unidentified flying object, right? So the assumption is what? Aliens. Okay. First off, do you believe there's UFOs?
That's a hard question because you can say that
a plane's a UFO.
Yeah, or shit, or the
a mothership.
No, I'm saying like the rockets that people will be sending up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you could probably make something like a UFO, and then like if you're trying to put something around, just to have that, just to say that there's something. You could probably make a. Well,
that's another one we'll have to talk about too. Mm-hmm. Stealth drones, and now they've come out with like almost like invisibility cloaks.
Yes, and you had
that's in Spider-Man. That's in Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Alyssa says she believes they exist. So I think there are such thing as UFOs.
Yeah.
But do you believe that there's such thing as aliens?
Yeah.
Do you?
No. I mean, I believe that they're demons. Yeah. Putting it in that concept,
So there are aliens, but they're alien from Earth, meaning they're extraterrestrial. So remember what we said.
Angels.
Extra means outside of, and what's terrestrial mean?
She's on a video.
To Earth.
Yeah.
Like Terra. Ter.
Like you're saying, like for if a person from China or somewhere else came to America or Russia or wherever, they would be identified like
They're
alien.
They're called an alien. Not meaning like they're a Martian. But Martian literally means that it's from Mars, right? So I don't know where they're from. I would say yes, aliens, but they're like being what they are. Yeah. I would say are fallen angels, some form of demon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the big brain,
lizard people.
Yeah, you could just say that lizard people.
Lizard people.
People that can have camouflage.
Y'all have anything else to say before we?
They be looking at you.
Excited to finally make more videos and move, and that say to make more.
It's your dad.
For more survival things, how to.
Yeah, I want. You continue. I'll say it in a minute.
To show all the skills that we would be getting when we move. Just moving. That's all I'm saying. Moving.
Yep. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Get moving and get started with all the things that we got planned, and be able to actually function in the rooms that we live in.
Yeah. Getting to drive gratefully.
Alyssa says merch.
You
asking her if they have some merch?
Not yet.
We want to.
You want them to get some merch?
Make with the you'll know it's authentic because we'll be probably using the sheep's wool and
she said, "Yeah."
Making our own designs. And
So
shit.
Alyssa will have to give us some ideas. She does her little drawings, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see what she comes up with for the merch.
Uh-huh.
We'll come up with some stuff too.
Probably like a beach designs because our thing. And hey, maybe if we have a video tomorrow, we'll see when we get our green screen.
Yeah, we'll get a green screen so that we can actually do a background.
And the
So you don't have to see this.
Spoiler alert,
crazy.
it might be a beach. So.
Spoiler alert.
I get a schedule one for tomorrow, Mom.
I don't know. We have to find out.
And also, thanks for watching.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Chrissy, if you're still watching.
We appreciate
I
it.
have some. Come here, Elijah. See if you can understand what this says.
I have some stitches.
Sketches.
Oh,
Sketches.
How you that? Sketches.
I have some stitches. But Alyssa and Eric will be our
Sketches.
professional
Drawers.
designers.
Yeah. Hey, and hopefully, when we get that trip going on,
There we go.
we will be able to come see you.
Yep. As soon as we move, we'll be coming up that way
Yes.
for a little vacay.
You could probably join us for
Yes.
the Creation Museum. Yeah.
Sorry for all the background noise, y'all.
If you're able, we want you to go with us to
Please.
the Creation Museum.
She said yes.
Yes.
You gonna give that one too?
Thank you.
Come on, darling, let's go.
Don't break that, please. Okay.
Leave it alone. Come on, let's go.
It's Sarah.
Mhm.
And as you know, we got this new lighting.
Mm.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be a better setup at the
New
new
house.
house. But right now, we're doing what we can do.
We're gonna call. We need to make up a better name than New House since it's our house. Practically going to be our house soon. So you were gonna say Smallville or something.
We need to call it this Small Acres.
Small farm.
So like Prepper Nation, he's another channel.
Mhm.
He calls his place the Ponderosa.
Let's call ours the ranch.
No, I
don't think
the
it's-
ranch.
Small ranch. It's not a big ranch.
It's
But it's bigger than an average homestead, but it's smaller than
here. Give you this.
a ranch.
Ranch, yeah.
Even smaller probably than a farm.
Farm, yeah. Hey, but you can get a lot done.
But you can still get quite a bit on there. So we're just gonna be grateful for it.
It could be like the small cranny. Like,
Small cranny.
yeah, like a little area. Like a cranny.
Oh, like a nook and a cranny.
Uh-huh.
Small nook.
Ooh, like in Animal Crossing,
Yeah,
the nook
nook's
cones.
cranny.
Mhm.
Small
He
nook.
nodded.
I don't know. We'll
He
come
put
up
it
with
in
something.
the nod.
Hey,
Clever.
send us some ideas.
Yes.
Yeah, send some ideas about what we should name
Mm.
our new place.
Yes.
The comments are always open.
Yes.
All right, so let's get off of here.
Cookies.
I know you would be on here all your whole life. If you could.
No, I would have been in here for 3 days.
For 3 days.
This is
It's fun. I like doing it.
She said gameplay SS. Gameplay SS. Is that your that's your name for the new house? Gameplay small station. Like PlayStation? Small station. Oh Lord, there goes Sarah. Sorry.
Can't hold it down anymore.
That's okay. She don't have to be.
You gotta do what you have
Sarah, come here.
Huh? What?
Game plays. You want them to play a game?
She wants us to make gaming channels.
Oh, you want a gaming channel? We're gonna make you type, sister.
Yeah.
But no, what we are gonna do though, Alyssa, is I'll teach you how to get on StreamYard so that you can join their lives.
Yeah. Be our special guest.
Yeah.
And then that way,
Ooh, when we go to see
when
her.
we come on live, then you can be talking instead of having to
Type. But
Joining the fam.
Yeah.
Join this club, please.
because it's easy. It's not bad. We're on through StreamYard,
Mhm.
and so StreamYard is all I have to do is send you the link when we come on.
or when we go up there, we can get it ready for it, and when we go on live.
Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll teach you how to do it when we go up there, and then when we go on live later,
Mm.
you'll be able to get on with them.
Talk, chat.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
We have some laugh.
That way, Allison can get on too.
Mm.
But then it won't be teen talk. It'll be
Allison talk.
everything in between talk.
Anything in between.
Hey, it's special guests. Okay, we can have them. Like, what's the people you watch? Yeah, have more people on.
Pepper.
One.
Yeah,
Prepping 101, yeah. We watch him. We watch a lot of the prepping channels. We'll shout them out.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of good info
Go out and get info.
from all of them. You leaving me? Okay. You gonna go on that side?
I'm gonna get the
Okay. All right. She said teen plays. Well, you got to be a teen first, little lady.
Level up, please.
Yeah, level up. Level up.
Level up.
You're a tween.
That's why I said everything in betweens.
Teen and tween talk.
Mm-hmm. New subject.
Yeah.
Teen and tween talk.
We on this, ready?
All right. Let's end this thing, y'all. We are like 20 minutes over our hour. All right, so we will hopefully be back tomorrow.
You see a video.
She said 2 years, okay?
2 years. Hey, okay, it doesn't matter.
So, all right, so we will end this here, and we will come back hopefully tomorrow.
Yes, with our
Greeno.
Yeah, Greeno Screeno.
Our Greeno Screeno. Wow.
Hey, it's teen talk.
Okay.
No.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do, and we'll keep you posted. Thank y'all for watching. We actually had 4 viewers this time.
Sweet.
One of them was us, so
3.
let's say 3. And that was cool. And I apologize for my earlier lapse from my brain.
Oh.
No, reading that dumb comment that I should not have.
Hey, hopefully next video we won't even have to worry about next comment. Or that.
Come on, if our mom schedules it, come on
Again
tomorrow, because we want to talk more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa, sorry.
Nice to hear everybody's questions.
Yeah.
Where'd you put the water?
Yeah.
Ask us a lot more questions tomorrow.
Where'd you put the water?
We're gonna be rested.
Yeah.
Okay, say it. You can't shake the table, my love. All right, so we're going to sign off.
Happy Sabbath.
Thank y'all. Thanks for watching. Come on back.
Bye.
It's a small world after all.
It's a small world after all. Like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.
Did you do it yet? Because I'm gonna say Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Yeah.
What's the end of Sabbath?
End of Sabbath.
All right. Shabbat Shalom.
Mm.